Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Rob Report. I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. How are you doing today? Well, we're in some trying times right now. And trying times, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Now, it is good that the government is coming together to assist regular working people, but they're not assisting regular working people enough. Now, here in New York City, of course, those who lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their jobs. The unemployment rate is a all-time high. And let me just say it this way. Think about the times that you worked. And every time you worked, they took out income tax. That's money you worked for. That income tax goes to pay the government in a host of ways. Your state income tax goes to pay the state government. Your local tax goes to pay the local government. Your federal tax goes to pay to run the government. And a lot of times they think they know better than you do with your money. They don't understand they got their paycheck from us. The current salary of every senator, House of Representatives, Congress, it doesn't matter, even the president, people in the cabinets, their pay is coming out of our pocket. We're paying for those. Every Senate staff, you name it, Capitol Police, you name it, the people are paying their salary. So when it's time for me to get a return on my investment and you start popping your chop, who in the hell, blue hell, red hell, it doesn't matter, who in the hell are you to tell me that I'm getting a handout, that I'm freeloading? Fool. Anybody who makes an investment expect a return sometimes. Where you getting at? Well. This guy right here, Stuart Varney from Britain, Great Britain, arrogant, cocky, aristocrat, rich, wealthy, financial advisor, businessman who hosts Fox News, in the what they call it, Varney and Company or something like that. He got the nerves to run his mouth about a potential policy that's being pushed. Now, it was really originally pushed by Dr. King about 2000, about a universal basic income that should come to every American because we pay into it. We got plenty of money. That money should be returned. Dr. King came up with that, and a host of other people who Dr. King got it from. Andrew Yang ran on that, but it was only 1,000. And his caveat on that is, you get the $1,000, we do have a right to cut some of your social program. Fool, you crazy. $1,000 ain't enough to do jack. You keep the $1,000, and if people are on food stamps, they still get that food stamp on top of the $1,000. And if they do get public housing at a low cost, they get that too, because they paid into it. Sure, they can't do it all the time. You get if they get opportunity to work, they got to work. You don't give people the opportunity to just lay down and just get that. But that's what Stuart Varney think we will do if we get a return on our freaking investment. This arrogant, smug a-hole has the nerves to try to tell us what we should do with the money that we invested. You need to take your butt back to England. I'm 51 years old. I done put in close to 44 decades of working and getting taxes taken out. And if for some reason I lose my job, you trying to tell me I can't get a UBI if it's offered? Well, let's take a look at this. Here we go. Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Ed Markey team up to propose monthly payments of $2,000 a month during the pandemic. Now, they didn't originate this. They didn't originate. People like people that were Republican was going more to the left than most of these lefties. People like Mitt Romney was talking about a universal basic income, and a couple other Republicans. But Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris and Ed Markey team up to propose monthly payments of $2,000 a month during the pandemic. In response to the worsening economic crisis facing this country. Now, we got some of y'all, not all of us, I got mine. We got our $1,200 a month stimulus one-time payment. $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month is not enough to pay 1 month's rent in New York. Yet we got Governor Cuomo, supposed to be a Democrat, you know, the one y'all hailing as impressive. He should be the president. We should swap him out, Joe Biden out for him instead of Joe Biden out for Bernie, the man who earned the delegates by right. He cut Medicaid for all in the middle of a crisis, and he allowed a rent freeze, a mortgage freeze in the state of New York, but not a rent freeze. In New York City is 90%, probably 95% a rent-toll city. And the rent is too doggone high. Most people can't even afford an apartment, so a lot of them roommate. Ain't even roommating, it could be $1,000 plus a month. So you people in Statesville, Georgia, or whatever, you got it made when you can pay $200-300 a month for a 2-3 bedroom apartment, but it ain't as fun as living in New York. But let's go into this. In response to the worsening economic crisis facing the country, Senator Kamala Harris of California and Bernie Sanders of Vermont, along with Ed Markey of Massachusetts, will introduce a bill aimed at establishing a rebate payment program that would deliver $2,000 to U.S. residents, including children, until the COVID-19 pandemic has ended. Rebate check. Rebate payment. The bill has a tall hill to climb in a Republican-controlled Senate, as few GOP lawmakers have voiced support for the continued monthly payment. See, I told you. You got Republicans voicing support for the payments. The one-time payment of $1,200, which was what passed in the CARES Act in late March, was a sticking point at that time. In addition to being more expensive and on a recurring basis, these payments would be available to U.S. residents no matter if they have Social Security numbers, which include undocumented immigrants who pay taxes but don't have Social Security numbers. Sure, if undocumented workers pay tax into the system, that's them investing into this government. They should get a return. I don't care if they're citizens or not. They put money into the system, they should get a return. Stuart Varney. The bill would grant married couple who filed together $4,000 a month. Now that's a good deal. $4,000 a month, and you living in somewhere like Savannah, Georgia, where the rent is about $400 or $500 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. $4,000 a month to go a long way in this crisis. And $2,000 each for each child. So if you and your spouse are married and you got 3,000 children, if you got 3 children, you're getting $2,000 for each children. And so let's say a household of 5. Household of 5, you're getting $4,000 for a married couple, $2,000 for up to 3 child. So you're getting $6,000 plus $4,000. That's $10,000 a month. So I can see where Stuart Varney may get a little upset with that. But Stuart Varney, you got to understand, this ain't your money, bruh. This is the people's money. It's the people's. You paid into it too. And you would get that check too. It would also block debt collectors accessing seized payments from individuals who owe money. The coronavirus pandemic has caused millions to struggle to pay the bills or feed their families, said Harris in a statement. She cited the stimulus package as important steps, but added it's not enough. Bills will continue to come in every single month during the pandemic, and so should help from the government. Now let me stop there for a second. Miss Harris, Kamala, whatever you want to call it. Jamaican girl. East Indian girl, whatever you want to be. Bills always come in. Bills always come in. Bills always come in. Why we got to wait till a pandemic? That's why we need to have UBI, because bills always come in. The Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act will ensure families have the resources they need to make ends meet. Now, honestly speaking, if you're getting $2,000 for each head in the household, man, that's ends mean like a mug. But we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm eager to continue working with Senator Sanders and Markey as we push to pass this bill immediately. Now you got to understand, Kamala Harris is up for re-election soon, so she got to go to the bat, because right now she lost a lot of popularity in this race. Sanders echoed Harris, saying sentiment in a written statement. As a result of this horrific pandemic, tens of millions of Americans are living in economic desperation, not knowing where their next meal or paycheck will come from, said Sanders. The one-time $1,200 check that many Americans recently received is not nearly enough to pay the rent, put food on the table, and make ends meet. During this unprecedented crisis, Congress has a responsibility to make sure that every working-class household in America receives a $2,000 emergency payment a month for each family member. Man, you thought $2,000 was good for each family member? The monthly check would be available to every person with an annual income less than $120,000. So everybody's not going to get this. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to get it, but not that many people make $120,000 a year. So if you're not making it, you will qualify for this. I know I will qualify. I'm not even making half $120,000. I better make half a half during the pandemic. And for 3 months after, according to the one sheet provided by Harris Senate office, it's also retroactive to March. This is the pair's first major joint bill together, although they've co-sponsored legislation in the past, which, by the way, she caved in on. Harris famously was the first Democrat to co-sponsor to hop on, and that's exactly what it was, hop on the Sanders Medicaid for All bill in 2017 and move that caused major strife during the 2020 primary election when she backed off the proposal and ultimately released her own version that persevered the role of private insurance. See, that's how cunning and how easy she is. I don't trust her. Still, both senators have been highly critical of President Donald Trump administration responsive to COVID-19 pandemic, and I also add they should also check into how the Democrats handle it too, because everything is not Trump's fault. You have your role to play too. Sanders has said the pandemic has only further exacerbated Trump's fault as leader. I believe Trump has been the most dangerous president in modern history of this country. And I believe Joe Biden will be the next if he's elected. And we're seeing his narcissism, and we'll see Joe Biden's narcissism. His ignorance is playing out in terms of the pandemic we're experiencing right now. Joe Biden's ignorance is he's not showing anything. Sanders said to Stephen Colbert the day he dropped out of the presidential race in April, Harris has faulted Trump for what she says is a failure of leadership. Yeah, but you're supporting somebody who is a failed leader himself. I think we have to stop waiting for him to act like a president and just move on and talk about what is happening in the States, Harris told CNN in April. All right, so the key thing I want to talk about right here, right now, is Stuart Varney, where his head at. You're talking about $2,000 a month for each person in a household. You, your spouse, and up to 3 kids. So if you got 3 kids and you're married, you guys stand to bring in $10,000 a month. That's more money than you ever made, most people ever made working a job. Even with 2 households, because the kids got income coming in from the country. Now I can see where Stuart Varney may get a little upset because your husband and you getting $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, that's $48,000 a year. That's still significant income. But the kids get $2,000 a month. So it make me mad because I ain't got no kids. Make me mad because I'm not married with kids, because you're looking at $10,000 a month. Well, let's get into what Stuart Varney had to say about this situation. Look at him. Oh, smug, arrogant white supremacist. That's just what he is. A smug, arrogant white supremacist. That is what Stuart Varney is. All he want to do is talk about handouts and stuff like that. There is no handouts, but we're going to break this down in a second. Let's go. All right, so let's stop there, Stuart Varney. It's the worst idea in the worst of time. It's a great idea in the worst of time because it keeps us from making the mistake we did during the Black crash. And we started this Great Depression because nobody had income coming in, and the wealthy was just taking advantage of poor people, and poor people were fighting each other and you know, just to get a freaking job. Free money, really? Free money. So guess what? Your government leaders up there working for us, we are giving them money. How come that is not considered free money? They got free health care. Their kids, they can go to college for free. They got all these perks, yet we pay them a salary with our money. So how is free money when we paid in the system, you arrogant, cocky, white supremacist? Now, to be specific, Stuart, it's not for every American. And even if it was, Mr. British boy, why are you crying? What it's going to do to you? You still going to get your check from Fox News. You're not going to miss a meal. And you ain't going to lose your job. So what is it to you? What is it to you? $2,000 a month. And I know it really irritates him to think about somebody can get $10,000 a month, $100,000, $120,000 a year if they got 5 kids for 12 months. Stuart Varney, we are in a crisis where people don't have jobs. Jobs have shut down. Even though we're starting to get this economy slowly but surely back up, the point is you're risking your life to die to go to work, all to make you rich people happy. $2,000 a month ain't hurting you, bruh. So shut up. He said this income scheme bit the dust in the primaries and now it's back. This income scheme that you're talking about, this $2,000 UBI, is only being proposed during this pandemic. It should be a permanent thing after the pandemic. Again, how is it a scheme? Every other modern country have some kind of form. Some countries have UBI. Most countries don't. But what is it to you when we, the people, are paying into the system more than anybody, including your rich, wealthy, elite business buddies? Free money. Free money for all. Are you really kidding me? That's my money I put into the system. Let alone you want to deal with this reparations money, how you got free labor, all black people for over 200, 300 years. We're paying into the system our tax dollars to help run America. And when it's time for America to do its greatest running, taking care of the American people, you want to cry? Get out of here, you arrogant. All right, so congratulations. $2,000, no strings attached. Why are you worried about it? Why are you worried about it, Stuart Varney? How is it going to hurt you? And that's my whole point is, these people are going to be talking about, oh, this is crazy. You're going to get a check too. You just said, Stuart Varney, that there's no stipulation to it. So you stand to get $2,000. And if you got a young wife and you got about 3 kids at home, which a lot of you rich, wealthy white people like to do, rich, wealthy black people like to do too, you're going to get some of that money. So how about this, Stuart Varney? If we do approve that, and you get your money, how about give it to me? I can use it. You don't need it. You don't want this free money, right? Free. Let me tell you something, punk. And yeah, I said punk. I break my back as a job as an organizer, working 10 to 12 hours, fighting for the rights of working people. I got a check for it. They took out my taxes, and a lot of it too. You trying to tell me that when I don't have a job, I don't have a right to it? Now, grant you, here in New York, and probably most states, right now until July, you're going to get your unemployment if you're unemployed, and you're going to get $600 on top of that. That's great. I mean, that's a big help. But the thing is, that's going to stop in June. Then you're going to be back to your normal unemployment, which is really half of what you worked for. Then you got people who work for themselves and that does hair, that does nails, and what the nail shops and the hair shops shut down. How do they expect to make money? You got people who take care of kids. How do they expect to make money? So you trying to tell me you worried about a funky $2,000 a month coming to that household? What is it to you? How is it vote buying, fool? You got your fellow Republicans that saw the need for this. And even if it was vote buying, why are you worried about it? I don't give a crap. If you do something to take care of my community, you can earn my vote. Stuart Varney, are you a slut voter? Do you vote and don't expect nothing in return? No, you vote and you expect stuff in return, like tax cuts, more benefits for the wealthy, more ease on restrictions on certain things to keep your money. You have every benefit in the world for you to vote for a particular politician. And if that politician give you that benefit, you're the first one to go in there and vote. So shut the hell up, man. With your all right, fool. The point of this bill is there's nobody working right now. Once you open up and we can get back to work and your job is open back up and they call you back in, and the state says it's okay to go back to work and the city says it's okay to go back to work, and your company put in guidelines to make sure you're safe, your company, that's not my job as a worker, that's the company job worker, to make sure the workers are safe and the company accommodate the workers, then I would go back to work and then I wouldn't get that check. But as long as I'm out of work, I deserve a return on my investment, rich boy. I deserve it. $2,000 is you better be glad that's the least I'm asking for. Right now, I can't work. Right now, I had an opportunity to work at a community center, and the community center, the only thing that they have available is driving the van, taking food to the elderly right now and to the children at home. There's no work there. It's closed down, Stuart. A lot of the restaurants still closed down, Stuart. A lot of the jobs are still shut down, Stuart. Most jobs are not essential. So what do you expect me to do? Live off half of what I made? Would you live off half of you made, Stuart? Why are you complaining, you arrogant bastard? Excuse me, but I gotta call it as it is. You arrogant, snobby, rich bastard. Who in the hell are you to get mad at the government for creating a bill to give me $2,000 when they just created a policy to give these major corporations trillions of dollars, and a lot of that money is coming in by check every month when they already are in profit. So why not make them spend their money until it runs out, and then they can come get some of this stimulus money? Got something else. There's no such thing as government handout. No such thing as government handout. There's what you call a people handout. The people, the government is not working to give us the money. We are working and they're taking money out of our check to give to the government. Surely you know that, Mr. Smarty Pants, Mr. Fox News, Mr. Businessman, know all things. They work for us. So who are you to try to encourage them not to give us a return on our investment? How about we stop paying taxes? Where would you be now? How about we just shut down, we keep all our money, and your government leaders won't get jack? More important, how about everybody just stop watching your show? Where would you be? You'll be fine because you got a nest egg. But the bottom line is, even though you get if this bill passed, you and your family, well, you probably wouldn't get it because you make more than $150,000. Let me keep going. Who pays for it? We already paid for it, you idiot. And if you want to call people socialists, you guys are the socialists. The business sector is the socialists. The business sector is going to the political leaders saying, we need money in this crisis. Give us welfare. It's the big companies that are getting the bulk of this stimulus package, and they ain't got to pay back anything. So you're going to call somebody a socialist. You guys are the socialists. Your people are the one asking for a handout. Our handout is nothing compared to their handout. You need to wake up, Stuart. I think you're sleeping, man. How the rich is paying for it when everybody pays into the same tax system? As soon as you pay into it, majority of people, if they want to get a return on their investment, and it's up to the majority, we get a return on investment. It's not up to you rich 1% butt wipes. Most of us are not. Most people paying into the tax system aren't rich butt wipes, arrogant a-holes. We're regular people. And when the regular people is getting hit the worst with this crisis, an opportunity for them to get something for their investment into the system, then people like you need to just shut up and take it. Because you don't say nothing about these rich, wealthy people. When they get hit with the same crisis, they go to begging for money. They don't have to pay some of that money back, but you're not saying nothing. And they are the biggest socialists out of anybody that's claiming to be a socialist. This fool talking about inflation, we're in a depression right now. We're in a full-blown depression. The unemployment rate keeps going higher and higher and higher. Nobody really got a job right now. People are told to stay home where they can't even go out and get a job. And if you go outside that house and you don't have a mask on or whatever, your butt might get harassed by the police. You're risking your life going outside in the first place. And all you can think about is funky $2,000 a month that might go to a husband and wife and their 3 kids. I get it. I get it. That's $10,000 a month. But still, why are you worried about it? What do you think the people who are not able to go to work are right now? Energetic. Life ain't always about going to work, you idiot. What's the use of going to work and you die at work, or you get sick at work, or you come home and die at work? Then how you going to go to work after that, fool? How you going to go to work after that, you idiot? All you Republicans saying we need to get back to work. Even some Democrats, we need to get back to work, and that's fine. We do need to get back to work, but we need to get back to work the right way. Safe and disease-free, protected, neutralized, medication, maybe a vaccine. Then we get back to work. Until then, nobody need to be rushing their behind to work, because what they're going to do is they still risk people's lives every time they get in contact with people. Smart thing to do is pay people to stay home, make sure that bills paid, make sure they can put money back in the economy. You realize how much money I done spent ordering stuff online just to make sure I keep food in the house. I order money, I order food. I got food coming in tomorrow. I order this food from BJ's. People are delivering the food here. My hat's off to them. I give them a tip. Essential workers, they delivering food here. If it wasn't for the money that I'm getting because of the money I invested, I wouldn't be able to put money back in the economy. Fool, how can you expect the economy to keep running and keep running if the people don't have the money to put in the economy? You arrogant, think you know everything, idiot. Fool, understand. Staying home and living off the government. You understand the government is living off the people. The government ain't giving us nothing. The government has nothing to give. They're living off us. It's our tax dollars that we worked hard to give them for eons of years. I don't care if it's for 2, 3 years. I still paid into the system, and I deserve a return on my investment. That money goes right back in the economy, Stuart. How brainless can you be? You're a brainless, whining, arrogant, rich old crybaby, and you need to shut up. All right, so here we go. All right, so Stuart Varney. Stuart Varney. What can I say? First of all, the government works for us. We pay their salary. Not only do we pay their salary, we invest in different programs in the government. We the people. The majority of the people are working people. And we're in a crisis, and the government leaders try to lead us through this crisis and advise us to do certain things. We try to listen to them. But at the same time, we still got bills to pay. Still got rent, we still got lights, we still got to put food on the table, Stuart. Everybody ain't got $1 million nest egg like you, Stuart. You rich bastards, man, you're something else. Everybody ain't got it like you. Most people don't have it like you. You got money that you stacked on. You gonna talk about welfare and socialism when these rich companies then got the biggest part of this stimulus package, and most of them was in record profit? Government didn't tell them live off what you got right now. You got money in the bank, son. Live off that, then come holler at us. In the meantime, people who don't have the money, we're gonna take care of them. But go ahead and live off what you got stored up. You got $20 billion? United Airlines? Live off that. Pay your workers off that. Then come holler at us. You're not saying nothing about that, Stuart. Or Stu. Let's get this straight, Stu. I pay this government. You do too if you're paying your taxes. I hope you're paying your taxes. I not only pay these political leaders their salary, I put more money into this government to keep the money running. So it's not a government handout. The government got their handout every freaking week. When it come to my paycheck, they hand out trying to get some of my tax money. So they the one have the handout. They the one are beggars and paupers. They the one need to pull themselves by the bootstrap, because if it weren't for us taxpayers, they wouldn't be able to run. Another thing. You lucky it's $2,000 each person. It is this country's duty that when we're in crisis and we can't go out and make the money, that's what you fail to realize. Most people can't go out and work, bruh. So what do you expect them to do? Twiddle their thumb? They still need to have income coming in. Why are you assuming people, just because they're staying home because of a crisis, because they have no choice, they've been ordered to stay home, that they want to stay home forever? Nobody wants to stay home forever. You need to be paying us because it's us that's going to keep this economy going, not you and your rich bastards running your mouth. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be having, these companies wouldn't even survive if it wasn't for the people having enough money to put into, if it wasn't for us consumers having the money to stimulate this economy every time we got a check. If you don't, and this is for every person, Democrat or Republican, if you do not fund this bill by Kamala Harris, I'm not a fan of none of these people, but if you do not support this bill, you're asking for the economy to crash. And you're asking for you to lose your Senate seat. I got a feeling Trump may do something crazy and go to the left of all of them. If Trump signed this into law, it's going to be hard for Joe Biden to win this, man. It's going to be hard because Joe Biden wouldn't even do nothing like this. Trump ain't got no choice. He have no reason. He have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And look, I'm not a fan of Trump. Didn't vote for him. Didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I'm not a fan of none of these numbnuts. They ain't got your best interest. But here's what I can say. The person who supports that bill, they got a great chance of getting my vote. Now, a great chance. I ain't saying I'm going to give it to them. Because to me, I still think the black community needs a true black agenda and reparations. But you can entertain me. Here's what I can say. Be the person to turn that down. You have no chance of it. Not a one. Every American need to have these $2,000 a month. Now, I don't mind these things happening. Every time the government passes a bill that's going to put money in the hands of the consumers, and the consumers going to put it back into the economy, I'm fine with that. I support that. I want these things to happen. You want to know why I want it to happen? Because when it comes time for me to go right back to the black community and reparations, you can't tell me you ain't got the money because you keep coming up with money for real needs. There's no excuse. When I keep seeing this over and over again, I'm going to throw it in your face. Stuart Varney throw you in the face in a way that's smug, arrogant, and elitist. Why? Because him and his buddies are taken care of, and they're scared they're going to pay more tax money. Dude, you're not paying no more. Get out of here. We all paying into this thing. You ain't the only one paying taxes. Get out of here. But here's what I can say. I tell everybody right now, call your congressman and tell them to support this bill. Tell them if they don't support the bill, you ain't gonna vote for them. Tell them I may be a Democratic, but I'm not loyal. I'm not a Democratic because I love you guys. I'm a Democratic because it gives me a chance to vote yes and no to you behind. And if you don't support this bill, I'm voting no. While you're at it, if you don't come up with a black agenda that includes reparation, I'm going to make sure I go out and campaign against you. Stuart Varney, smug, arrogant, rich a-hole. Mad because people are talking about getting everybody $2,000 a month to help them get through this COVID crisis. Needed money that this economy desperately needs, and all his rich buddies desperately need. You're fighting against your own interest, Stuart Varney, maybe because you don't own a business. But if you own a business and you had Varney watches, how do you expect for me to buy a Varney watch when you own and when I don't have no money? Whenever you put the money in the hands of the people, the economy will continue to stimulate the economy and keep the economy going. The heartbeat of the company will keep going for another 3 months, another 3 months, and another 3 months. Every time you put money in their hand every month to the people and stimulate the economy for at least 90 days, every time you do that every month. You fighting against that, is against even the wealthiest people best interest. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report, man. These cocky, arrogant, most of them white. You got some arrogant black people out here, but these usually rich white people who, think they know it all, and he got his own TV show. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Man, if the money don't get into this economy gonna crash, and then you guys gonna be living off your riches, but you don't want to live off your riches because you said you like to work, right? And get your butt to work. Let us continue to help your butt work for that money. I'm Rob Brown with the Rob Report. I'll holler at you later.